There's Louie calling. Hey, what's up?
Man, smoking and fish right over here in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I can get to them by bank. Maybe I'll walk over there and catch a few.
Oh yeah, they're right here by the bank.
All right, I'll be over there in a minute. What you catching them on?
Catching them on a lemonhead with a 3/8 ounce golden eye.
It's a little breezy out there.
Oh yeah, big time. Wind's blowing about 20.
Sounds.
Hot rod's reeling one in right now.
All right, sounds good. All right, bye.
Later.
All right, after a short walk, I strolled up and I saw Louie trolling up and down in the canal there. And as soon as I walked up, I saw him reeling a nice trout. And he was trolling matrix shad, so obviously I tried to cast and get up in on the action right there. And although Louie was trolling with a nice steady gradual pull of the lure, I started jigging it vigorously off the bottom. And that seemed to work also as I caught a handful from the bank. The trout Louie were catching was really, really nice, including the one that we caught off the bank that was a really nice fish, and a couple of redfish also in there that mixed in with the trout. And again, this is something we've been seeing so far this spring, or call it winter as we're still in February, but it's been a warm February. This winter was brutally cold. December and January was off the charts cold. Water temperatures got all the way down in the high 30s, which is as cold as it gets. And a lot of the fish we've been catching here the last few weeks, whether it's out in the lake or in the canals, they have a lot of sores on them. A lot of different theories on why that may be. My particular theory is that when it gets that cold, fish get in survival mode. They sit on the bottom, not looking to feed or eat, just trying to survive. And when they lay themselves in the bottom, the leeches come out the mud and suck on the fish for long periods of time, creating sores. But I'm not a biologist, just a guess on some things that me and some other anglers have put together. So it's been ranging. Some days 20% of the fish have sores, some days 80% of the fish have sores. Every fish we caught off the bank today had some type of sore on it. Now, one of the reasons we didn't wake up this morning and go fishing right out the gate was they were calling for very high winds, and the weatherman was correct. So we were just doing some office work whenever Louie called. And whenever we got over there, the east wind was blowing right in my face, which makes it a little hard to cast. Not just bank fishing. Anytime we're fishing, we fish in high winds all the time, and don't let the wind scare you. Sometimes it can be a good thing. It'll keep boats off the water, and the fish will just tend to bite a little bit better. Typically when it is high winds, it means maybe there's some kind of low pressure system approaching that'll trigger fish into a feeding frenzy. But here's a quick little tip on when you are casting into a very strong wind, and this one was anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour right in our face. Instead of making an overhand cast, giving more loft in it. I was throwing it as hard as I can, but keeping it as low to the water as I can, but making a sidearm cast, staying under the higher winds up top. And it was helping me get some distance with my cast, even though I was fishing dead into the wind. And that way I could get into that first and second, maybe even third tier of the drop off of the bank, where I was looking to get in the 15 foot of water, as most of my bites was right on the drop off and about 10 to 15 foot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of DockSide TV. Did a little bank fishing today. Caught a nice trout we brought home for dinner, released several other fish. And it just shows you, no matter what the weather's doing, whether you have a boat or not, there's always a few fish to be caught, and that's a special thing about Louisiana. Make sure to watch all of our DockSide TV episodes from matrixshad.com, as sometimes we're in the boat, sometimes we're in the bank, whatever it takes to catch a few fish. And of course, we're using products from matrixshad.com. Until next time, good fishing.